What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody had an excellent day. The weather in New Jersey is just strange, from 70s and sunny to 50s, cold, windy, and rainy. Hopefully it's nicer for the holiday weekend. Go Knicks. Jets OTAs are underway, and you're not going to pay too much attention to the on-the-field action as they're in T-shirts and shorts. They're learning new systems, and if we learned everything over the last couple of years, what happens now has no impact on the season. Aaron Rodgers is lighting up practice with all these high-flying plays. The season starts, they can't score any points. So not really worried about that. It's more about the commentary to try to identify any trends and what the players are believing. Starting with the head coach, he offered some interesting nuggets. And the first was 100% participation, which is great. You had some curiosity if any of the players that had contract issues would maybe hold out now and kind of make a statement, even though it's voluntary. When you go to mandatory minicamp, you can make more of a statement, but as of now, it seems like it's smooth sailing for the Jets. Another big note is Will McDonald apparently put on 15 pounds, which is great if you want to see him be a three-down player. If he can set the edge and be physical in the run game, he'll see more playing time. You just hope the added weight doesn't take away his speed and his burst. Other than that, Aaron Glenn also offered up an interesting comment about Justin Fields. You're not sure if he's taking subtle shots at Aaron Rodgers or just offering an observation in general. But he said Justin Fields is not a celebrity quarterback. He's kind of a quiet, even-keeled, he works in silence. He's a leader, but he's not all about the flair. He's a very humble and driven person, and he's not fake, which was all right, we all know, after the holiday weekend, Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Steelers, and they're going to be, Jets Steelers week one, all the fanfare and hoopla. But I like that, I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to back down from anybody, nor should he. And instead of addressing all these questions, if he wants to take a couple subtle shots, good for him. Don't really care. John Simpson met the media, and usually an offensive lineman, you don't take a lot away from it. They're learning new schemes, and he likes to have the continuity with, four guys coming back. But he did offer up that Josh Myers and Tippmann are competing like hell at center, and I love that, man. Tippmann's still a young player that had some issues last year. But he's a player on the rise, but the more competition, the better. Let the best man win. Myers has some, familiarity with Justin Fields, so something to keep an eye on as mini camp comes and training camp, if it maybe is an open competition. But I was most interested to hear from guys like Garrett Wilson and Quinn Williams, guys that are the respected leaders on their side of the ball. Now, Garrett Wilson comes into this, into a contract year. How is he going to handle it? He gave the perfect answer. Holding out to him or not coming to voluntary OTAs was not an option. He loves the game of football. He wants to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible, work with his new teammates and everything else. He said he wants to be a Jet for life. He wants to stay here, get a new contract, but he's all about work. Let his agent do everything else. But he also talked about accountability, where he had to become a better blocker. He's like, listen, if I want to play, I got to block better. I have more responsibility in this offense. Aaron Glenn legit said in his press conference, we want to feed the ball to Garrett Wilson as much as possible. So he's giving him that. He's putting out that olive branch. Listen, we want you to be a star. Work with us. We'll get you there. And Wilson admitted he's got some things to clean up. So you like that commentary from him. Quinn Williams, again, really, it was you see these leaders talking about teamwork, hard-nosed, camaraderie. Quinn Williams he said he's a little bit immature when he talked about that rebuild tweet with Aaron Rodgers. But he also said, listen, I got a lot to clean up my game. I got a lot of work to do to get where I'm supposed to be to help my teammates win. He's like, I got to set the tone myself, and then they're all going to follow. So if you have your prominent guys in the locker room speaking about improving themselves, making those guys around them better, that's how you slowly change your culture. And they also mentioned these are just words. We got to define our leadership by actions. Obviously, winning games is important come September, but now during these times, even Andre Sisco said it, where it's listen, when camp first starts, everybody's excited, but you got to be consistent day in and day out when the grind starts, when the adversity starts. And that's their mindset here, which was kind of refreshing to hear, to be honest with you. So now going forward, you're curious to hear from Breece Hall. You want to hear from Jermaine Johnson. You want to hear from these other guys. But early on, the commentary or the comments coming out of Florham Park are encouraging. I know it's all we could talk about at this point, but it's just what's happening on this day. So don't yell at me. I'm not being a homer, not being a fanboy. Just saying my observations from OTAs. And that's it. I haven't been streaming a lot because there's not really a lot going on. I don't want to just kind of force topics, but as things get more intense or mini camp comes around, definitely be back to streaming. Talk to you guys later.